Please place today's warm-up in your classwork notebook. Today's warm-up is in regards to multiplying, and that means you're either going to be using the distributive property or the generic rectangle. I'm going to give you two hints. The first hint is that we are going to be using the generic rectangle to multiply this binomial. The second thing is you need to recall what it means to be squared. Okay? When you're squaring something, that means you're multiplying it by itself that many times. So today's warm-up means that we are going to be multiplying that 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. With those two hints, please pause this video to complete today's warm-up before moving on to the rest of today's lesson. So the one thing that I wanted you to notice is that the 2x plus 3 being squared means 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. That way we're able to see the length and the width of our generic rectangle. You can also see my work within the generic rectangle, and after combining like terms, my final answer is 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Please open your notebook to the index specifically. We are going to be taking some notes in regards to proportional reasoning. Please copy this down. This should be page 13 in your notebook, solving proportional problems. The objective for today's notes is that I can solve proportional relation problems. The definitions that you need to be aware of is that a ratio is a way to compare two related numbers or quantities. The example that I'm going to give you is that 68 expected votes for Mr. M out of 100 people. What we're comparing there is the number of votes to the number of people. Now you might see ratios given in multiple ways. The most common way is 68 votes out of 100 people. The other ways that you can see it is using a colon, but most commonly it's given to you as a fraction. The way that we're going to be using ratios is more in a proportion. A proportion is an equation that sets two ratios equal to each other. And that's what we're going to be focusing on for the next couple of days. Please pause this video to give students enough time to copy down the set of notes. Students, we are not finished taking notes. We're just needing to pause the video to give you time. So the next thing that I want to provide you within your notes section is how we're going to be using proportions. Now these are going to be your examples. Most commonly, you'll see proportions given to you as a word problem. So today's example is a basketball player makes 7 out of every 9 free throws. If she shoots 21 free throws, how many will she make? The best way to set this up is by using our fractions. So she makes 7 out of every 9 free throws. And I'm going to get rid of that actually. Okay, so she makes 7 out of every 9. And I want to know how many will she make if she shoots 21. So if she shoots 21, here's my variable. Now remember that we are going to solve this by undoing. That means we're going to multiply both sides by 21 to cancel that out. And what you do to one side, remember you need to do to the other. Multiplying fractions, you multiply straight across. So we'll do 21 times 7 and 9 times 1. So 21 times 7 is 147 divided by 9 equals about 16.3 repeating. So that means that she will make about 16 1/3 of her free throws if she shoots 21. We can take that same process in completing these next problems, solving by undoing. So the same thing goes, we're going to multiply by 20 to undo that division. What you do to one side, remember, you need to do to the other. So again, I'm going to take that 4 times 20 and get 80. And then I'm going to divide that by 5. And my answer is 16. Okay. The next problem is a little bit more difficult, and that is why I needed you to practice the solving by undoing. When you solve this problem, x minus 4 divided by 12 equals 7 divided by 3. What you need to do is get that x by itself. So the first thing that I need to do is get rid of that 12. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 12, and that's going to cancel that out. What you do to one side, remember, you have to do to the other. So what I'm left with on the left side is that x minus 4, and that equals 7 times 12, which is 84, but then we're going to go ahead and divide that by 3, and I get 28. So to get the answer on the right side, I took 7 times 12, and then I divided it by 3. Now it's just a simple one-step equation where I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 4, add both sides by 4, and therefore I get x to equal 32. Please pause this video to make sure that students get enough time to copy down all of the answers. The one thing that I forgot in regards to our notes is this sentence right here. Anytime you complete a word problem, you should write your answer as a complete sentence. So I just filled it in. She will make 16.3 free throws out of 21. The last thing that I want you to copy down is the summary. Set up the proportion, keeping like things in the same place. So that means with our word problem, I kept the number of free throws that she would make as the numerator and the number of free throws that she attempted as the denominator. The spot that's unknown, make sure you make that your x. Remember that you will be solving by undoing. Once you've completed taking these notes, please put everything away except for a writing utensil. The remainder of class time will be for you to complete this practice worksheet. It is due before the end of class. There is 8 problems that I would like you to complete. It is practicing using proportional reasoning, setting up 2 ratios, and solving for the unknown. Make sure to write your complete sentence, and when you are finished, you can get started on your homework. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.